All right, let's jump straight in because the football world just woke up to a massive, massive mystery. Just imagine checking your phone, right? And you realize one of the absolute biggest, most explosive athletes on the planet has literally just vanished from the digital world. No warning, no goodbye, just total silence. In today's Explainer, we're breaking down exactly what on earth is going on with Real Madrid superstar Vinícius Júnior. Is this the start of the most shocking transfer of the decade, or are we just watching a masterclass in modern contract negotiations? Let's find out. Because on Wednesday night, this was the wild reality. Vinícius Júnior wiped his entire social media history. Every single post, every photo, every memory. Zero statements, zero captions, just gone. You know, in the modern era, a player's social media is their entire brand. It's their voice. So wiping it clean overnight, it's literally the digital equivalent of dropping a smoke bomb into a crowded room. Fans went into complete overdrive. Was it a rebrand? Was he just totally burnt out by the relentless noise of the football world? Or was this the undeniable signal of a colossal career move? Which brings us to the €100 million question. Is Vinícius Júnior actually leaving Real Madrid? I mean, within hours of this digital wipe, the internet was absolutely flooded with theories, but one name kept rising to the top: Arsenal. The timing just felt way too perfect to be a coincidence, especially right as his contract talks with Madrid had seemingly hit a massive, massive brick wall. So Section 1, Rise of a Superstar, from Flamengo to global icon. To really grasp the gravity of this potential exit, let's slow down for a second and trace this incredible journey. Back in 2018, Real Madrid dropped what was then a totally jaw-dropping €45 million for a raw, unproven 18-year-old from Flamengo. And yeah, in those early days, he was electric, but people definitely criticized him for being, well, pretty wasteful in front of goal. But then, fast forward to 2022. He's scoring the winning goal in the Champions League final against Liverpool. By 2025, he's not just a Ballon d'Or contender, he's taking home this Socrates Award for his humanitarian work. We're talking about a player who completely transformed from this wildly inconsistent teenager into a global icon, racking up over 400 appearances and 9 major trophies for the biggest club in the world. And that evolution takes us right to Section 2, the elite goal threat, and the evolution of a winger. This whole transfer frenzy, it's only happening because Vinny's has become a genuinely generational talent, and he is playing at his absolute peak. Just look at this output for the current La Liga season: 16 goals and 5 assists in 36 appearances. That's his highest goal tally in a single league campaign ever. Across all comps, he's easily past 20 goal contributions. And the underlying numbers, they totally back up what we're seeing on the pitch. He's sitting right at the top of the league for shots on target, take-ons, and his non-penalty expected goals output proves without a doubt that he is one of the most productive attackers in all of Spain right now. Honestly, this quote just hits the nail on the head. He's become a legitimate goal threat, not just a chance creator, a problem defenders can't solve. You know, early on, critics loved to label him a luxury player, someone who just couldn't finish. But under Carlo Ancelotti, that narrative completely flipped. Now his absolute first instinct is getting to the goal. With that low center of gravity and this totally rare change of pace, he attacks defenders if they back off, and he completely beats them if they dive in. He took all that flash and turned it into devastating end product. And here's the kicker. He hasn't just improved in a vacuum. He's evolved alongside other absolute superstars. Sharing a front line with immense talents like Kylian Mbappe and Jude Bellingham hasn't pushed him out of the spotlight. Actually, scratch that, it's forced him to sharpen and diversify his game even more. You can see the tactical shifts, right? He's added way more link-up play, his movement into the half spaces is better, and he relies a lot less on those isolated one-on-one dribbles. He really has become the complete modern attacker. Which brings us to the chaos of right now. Section 3, the collision, or what we can call the perfect transfer storm. So if he's playing this well, why all the sudden mystery? Well, it's a perfect storm of 3 colliding factors. First up, the contract. Vinícius is in the final year of his deal, and after a pretty bruising 2025-26 season under manager Xabi Alonso, where their relationship reportedly got so bad they were having public fallouts, contract extension talks had totally stalled out. Number 2, Arsenal capitalized on that exact tension. They moved incredibly fast to make contact with his camp about what would be a career-defining move to the Premier League. And number 3, the spark that lit the whole match, that totally unexplained Instagram wipe. You put those 3 things together and you have the absolute perfect recipe for a transfer earthquake. But look, Real Madrid wasn't just going to sit quietly while their superstar flirted with the exit door. Section 4, Real Madrid strikes back.
And wow, their financial response is absolutely staggering. We are talking 19 to 22 million euros a year. Let that number sink in. Madrid responded to the chaos instantly. Insiders are reporting that highly positive emergency talks just took place at the club's Valdebebas training ground, where Madrid tabled this massive, heavily improved yearly wage offer. The club's public stance has always been that he is their central long-term piece, and now they're putting elite financial backing right behind those words.
But you know what? It actually isn't just about the money. The real game changer here is what's being called the Moreno factor. This is a genuine turning point in the whole saga. That toxic tension that was poisoning talks under Xabi Alonso, it's completely gone. Reports are saying Vinícius has already built an incredibly strong relationship with the new head coach, Jose Mourinho. Having that player-manager dynamic totally repaired has shifted the momentum incredibly hard back toward Madrid. Suddenly, the idea of staying looks a whole lot more appealing to the Brazilian star.
Which leaves us right here at Section 5, the crossroads, and what happens next.
This is just a monumental decision point for everyone involved. I mean, Madrid either sells now for a gigantic fee, or they risk losing him for literally nothing in the summer of 2027. The two realities on the table here are massive. If he stays, he signs an extension, making him the highest-paid player in Real Madrid's entire history. He cements himself as the absolute centerpiece of this new era built around him, Mbappe, and Bellingham. But if he leaves, it completely reshapes the Premier League title race overnight. Arsenal gets a genuine box-office superstar and probably world football's most feared attacker. Either way, this is undoubtedly a top-3 transfer storyline for the rest of the year. So, I've got to leave you with this. Will he sign the extension, or is he going to shock the world? Right now, the momentum definitely favors a historic stay in Madrid, especially with that massive new contract offer and a totally reinvigorated relationship with his manager. But Arsenal's interest is incredibly real. The contact was absolutely made. And as we all know, football has a profound habit of surprising everyone. So what do you think? Will the lure of the Premier League and a totally fresh start actually pull him away? Or is his legacy in Madrid simply just too strong to leave behind? Thanks so much for joining me for this deep dive into the Vinícius Júnior mystery. Make sure you catch our next explainer, where we're going to be breaking down the wild situation with Rodri. We're talking a World Cup winner, a Ballon d'Or contender, and a transfer battle that absolutely nobody saw coming. Trust me, you will not want to miss it.